just really quickly want to touch on this little storyline. College basketball is back. They've returned from a 7-month hiatus from the national championship game between Baylor and Gonzaga last year. Some great opening day matchups. We saw Chet Holmgren, the number 1 overall prospect, play for Gonzaga. UCLA ranked number 2, looking great, just like they did at the end of last season. Amani Bates, the freshman out of Memphis, looks like he might be the second coming of Jason Tatum at 6'9", has tremendous size and athleticism. There were a lot of great matchups yesterday. The State Farm Champions Classic, of course, headlining that. We saw Kansas knock off Michigan State. Bill Self, once again, turning over another tremendous player in Ochai Agbaji. The senior dropped 29 points. So we had that. And then we also had Duke and Kentucky, all 4 of these teams being part of this tournament for the 11th consecutive year. And number 9 Duke beat number 10 Kentucky. I don't really care about the rankings, but I did want to touch on what this game meant, because to me, this game was really significant from an historical perspective when it comes to Mike Krzyzewski as he's opening up his farewell season. Duke beat Kentucky 79-71. So, first of all, it's played at Madison Square Garden. The Blue Devils shot like 8% from 3, 1 for 13 from 3. Yet they managed to win the game, which is kind of unfathomable in today's era of basketball. But what was fascinating was how they won the game. They were led by 2 sensational freshmen. And Mike Krzyzewski, again, has some more incredible freshmen on his roster. Paolo Banchero and Trevor Keels. Banchero dropped 22 points, is projected to be a top 3 pick in the NBA draft. Keels is a 5-star recruit in his own right, really special player. But as we've commenced the final chapter of Coach K's career, this game and this matchup, to me, kind of further emphasized the sustained greatness of Mike Krzyzewski. Because the thing about Krzyzewski is he's 74 years old, 42nd season at the helm at Duke, is 2 things have happened in his span as a head coach. The style of basketball has evolved, and the recruiting tactics have changed. And he's been the best coach at being adaptable, at evolving from previous eras to now. Because when he started off his career, whether you want to stick with the Christian Laettner, Grant Hill years, whether you want to go to the Jason Williams, the Dante Jones, and the Carlos Boozer days, whether you want to go to the Plumlee brothers and the Seth Curry years, whether you want to go to the Jahlil Okafor, Grayson Allen transition to now most recently Zion and RJ Barrett, he's had to evolve as a coach. He's had to evolve his recruiting methods. At the time, during Christian Laettner and these younger generations, it wasn't about one-and-done players. It was about developing teams, bringing guys back for their junior, for their senior years, and then going in to the big dance to try and win it all. And what's happened is kind of the rug got pulled out from underneath him, yet he still managed to hold on and is now, riding like Aladdin on this magic carpet. He's been able to still find a way to adapt with the times. And if initially it was a big centric type of approach to athletic wings, to shooters, he's managed to build teams every single year that have stayed competitive. And that's a credit to his success. And I think that when you think about how the game has evolved and how he's had to contend with John Calipari, who's essentially mastered the recruiting process, he's perhaps the best recruiter in college basketball. He was the first to really recognize, hey, the nature of the one-and-done players and how what he's going to do, his tactic is to go to people's homes and talk to the top prospects in front of their families and say, listen, you want to make it to the NBA, you play one season with me, I'm going to get you there. And that strategy, though it only resulted in one national title with Anthony Davis leading the way, he's consistently just had a carousel of elite 5-star athletes on his team every single year. And finally, Mike Krzyzewski kind of got up to speed with that. And that's why it was only fitting to me that yesterday the storyline was in Krzyzewski's final season, his 2 freshmen knocked off Kentucky, a team filled of veterans and transfers. And that's why, to me, yesterday was so significant, not because of necessarily the 2 teams or their rankings, but because of the 2 coaches and what this most recent game represented. I mean, to me, I think he's rivaled Nick Saban when it comes to the best college coaches. We've seen Nick Saban be able to adapt, winning 7 national titles, starting off as a defensive-minded coach, then an emphasis on defense plus the run game. Now it's all offensive-minded. That's what Nick Saban finally realized was, hey, I need to start recruiting skilled positions, wide receivers, quarterbacks. That's where the game is going. He recognized that. He made the adjustment. Mike Krzyzewski's made a similar pivot. And I just think it highlights just how far Coach K has come in his career, the type of team that he has now, and his opponent in Kentucky. The coach was kind of known for being able to recruit those types of kids. So it was only fitting in that regard.